Hello and welcome to another episode of Novice Chess. So, I'm going to jump right into a 5-2 here, I think. Yeah, I just wanted to get a quick game in before bed. Lately I've been getting completely wrecked. So that's always fun. But at least I'll try to make it instructive here. Looks like we're getting into a Sicilian hyper-accelerated dragon is my go-to. Seems like it should be fun. Okay, so we're still in the development phase here. Now the question is, do I want to develop this knight here? Or do I want to play d6? d6 helps me get my bishop out. Kind of sets that up, as well as I think I'm going to go knight f6, because if my opponent goes queen d2, threatening to establish a battery, then I can go knight g4. Okay. So castles or d6? I think I want to castle first. Perhaps I should have played knight f4 immediately. But maybe that wasn't the most accurate. The idea behind knight g4 is, okay, I'm hitting this bishop with tempo, and also, actually it didn't work because I hadn't played d6 yet. But now I'm threatening to hit this bishop, gain a tempo on the bishop, as well as establish my knight on e5, which probably is not so bad, I'd imagine. Now he could play f3 here, which is probably appropriate. And I think I like queen a5, getting my queen out. Another option, a more passive option, is bishop d7. Wow. I'm not even sure what to do there. Perhaps just h5. h5 might be a good move there. I could also play bishop g4, f3, bishop back to... Okay, I think I want to play h5, because really after h5 my opponent isn't doing anything. I mean, I don't want my opponent playing h5 for sure, because, whatever takes, if knight takes, he has a sacrifice opening up my king position. I really just want to keep things closed. Yeah, he's trying to get active here, but this just gives me a pawn, no? Yeah, I think I'm just going to take this. Wait a second. Yeah, take the pawn, right? Let me calculate a bit. Take pawn, knight takes, pawn takes. Take pawn, knight takes, pawn takes. Is there any bishop move here that I should be worried about? No, this looks like a free pawn, right? Now I'm threatening this knight here, which is just not good for my opponent. So he's going to have to take. I'm threatening this knight now. Where does this knight go? Perhaps back, and then I retake. Yeah, this can't be good for white, right? White has to have made some sort of error here. I believe I made some errors too. I'm not entirely sure. Maybe we'll kind of just do a post-mortem after the game, but my opponent seems to be in some trouble here. Wow. Really? Is this not a free pawn? This can't be good for for Team White here. Whoa. Is this not just smashing through here? This must be close to over, right? Maybe not. Maybe not. I should have moved this bishop out of the way. Now that I think about it. Well. I should have moved this bishop and just threatened to fork the king and queen. Now I think I've missed out on that opportunity. But, okay, I still have a decent position, right? This is a cool one, right? Deflect this bishop and then maybe I have another check idea somewhere. I could be completely wrong. Yeah, it's tricky. It's tricky for sure. Okay. So I want to get my queen active. I think it's very important. So if bishop takes, then the d file becomes open. And I believe white has big problems. I'm also threatening... Oh, no. This can't be good. This cannot be good for white here. What is this king doing? Where is this king going? Dark squares are completely wrecked around his king. I'm threatening something along the lines of a rook check followed by queen a3. Yeah, seems to be close to over. Yeah, bishop d2 just runs into bishop takes d2 followed by rook d8. Notice the queen is covering d8, so I just win the queen. Yeah. Whoops. Win the queen with check. Throw in bishop a6 perhaps. Oh, what a clever move. Wait a second. Can I throw in a check here, or is this crazy? Check, queen takes. Check, king takes, and then that's no good. Just take this. Oh, I only have 30 seconds. I'm gonna try and play a little more quickly, but yeah, I was thinking about this, but wasn't entirely sure. Yeah, I mean, this is fine. Probably not the best, but I should be fine here. Just up material, right? Yeah. Really? Not gonna resign here. Fair. I probably wouldn't resign either. Probably this, right? That should be enough. He could trade a pair of rooks off, but I'm not sure how great that is for him. He can go here, yeah. This must be okay. Threatening mate. Ah, we are playing 5-2, so there won't be any time burning here. This is mate. All right, good game to my opponent. Let's see what we have here. I'm sure we both made some mistakes. It's funny, I always play the hyper accelerated and I always make mistakes in the opening, so what that means is I just need to study more. So I think my opponent should have played queen d2 with the idea of setting this battery up and removing my powerful dark squared bishop and castled queenside, castled long, followed by marching these pawns. What ended up happening in the game was something terrible for white. So he chooses not to castle and instead goes or attempts to start an attack without completing development and at the cost of a pawn. So let's see how that plays out. I just take the pawn and say, what do you want to do? Hit this knight and gives me another pawn. I forgot about that. I throw the check in and now my opponent cannot castle. His rooks are not coordinated and he's just really in a terrible position at this point. So let's just back up before we continue there. So yes, what white should have done is instead of this pawn move and instead of this queen to e2, I'm not even really sure what this does. You're kind of reinforcing a diagonal that, one, you already have influence over, and two, the influence that you have is not really, this diagonal is not really important. We're not fighting for this. So it's a very strange move. So really, the queen should be on d2 so that you can trade off this bishop here, which is not only a key defender of my king, but as the position opens up, it could be powerful in its own right. Okay, so he decides to go with this, completely ignoring his development and his pawns with knight d5. Just a little bit too aggressive. Take a pawn, check, prevent my opponent from castling. Of course, he couldn't block because I would just capture, and it's a free piece. Actually, I'd probably capture with the knight because that was the piece that was hanging. So, capture with the knight, threatening these guys here. It gets really bad for white if he tries to block. So, he just has to move, and then I attack this bishop. Really, I should have moved the bishop out of the way, threatening this knight fork here, forking these two pieces. I think I missed that opportunity, but okay. This should still be fine. And like I said, this runs right into what happened in the game, but I missed knight d3. So that was a nice defensive resource, although I still think white is completely losing because he ends up losing that knight. Chose to try and keep queens on the board for as long as possible, but after this check, I couldn't take the knight. The rook. So yeah, I think taking the queen here is completely fine. Then just grabbing this material, and then just defending this base pawn here. And at this point, white is essentially done. Right. There's no real way to make progress here on this f7 pawn, so white can pretty much resign. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Novice Chess, and I will catch you guys next time. Also in the pipeline I have an announcement I'm not quite ready to make yet, but there is an announcement for the channel regarding content as well as some other things, and I'd really appreciate it if you guys had any suggestions or things you'd like to see from the channel. Alright, I appreciate you guys, and I will catch you guys next time. Thanks, bye-bye.